Okay, let's do the Laplace of 3t squared plus e to the 5t. So we can break this down, and I don't expect you to do this all the time, but really you can break this down to the Laplace of t squared plus the Laplace of e to the 5t. 5t. Okay, so we know that it's going to be 3 times, if we look at the Laplace of t squared, this is number 3, and it says that t to the n is going to be, the Laplace of t to the n is n factorial over Sn plus 1. So in our case, our n is 2. So this would end up being 2 factorial over s to the 2 plus 1. So this will end up being 2, because 2 factorial is 2 times 1. And this becomes s to the third. And then the Laplace of e to the 5t, we're looking at number 2. And it says e to the at is 1 over s minus a. So for us, that would be 1 over s minus 5. Okay, so in other words, 6 over s cubed plus 1 over s minus 5. So for a new example, we've got, what's the Laplace of, I don't know, to cosine of 4x. So if we do the Laplace of cosine of 4x, then we look at our table, it looks like it's going to be, what, number 8, formula 8. And so we've got s over s squared plus, in this case, 4 squared, or s over s squared plus 16. And then what the other thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to be able to go backwards. Going backwards. So starting with the Laplace transform, can you do the inverse to get back to your original equation? So for example, if I said that my Laplace transform, capital F, means it is a Laplace transform, is 1 over s minus 8, can we figure out what my original function is, let's say in x in this case? So again, we'd look at it, now we're looking at the Laplace side. Looking at that, looks like we're at formula 2 again, where our a is 8. So that would mean that our original function is e to the 8x. What if I did, my transform was 6s over s squared plus 9 squared. Okay, this one's a little tricky, so we need something with a plus on the bottom, an s squared plus something. So 7 looks okay, but we've got the quantity squared, and so because we have this quantity there, so 7's not going to work. Let's look at, what, 9? So if we look at 9, then we would have, it says 2as over 6s squared plus a squared, quantity squared. So then we would have to change this 9 right here into a number squared. So I'd have to rewrite this bottom as s squared plus 3 squared in order to be able to match what our formula has. And then the question is the top then 2 times 3s? And yes, it is. So that means we're looking at formula number 9, and that means that this is going to be, if you want to do it in t, if you want to do it in x, then this is going to be t sine of 3t. Okay, so those are a little tricky, but I would practice going back and forth. I'll give you a worksheet, and I'll post the answers to those worksheets so that you can do that practice. And as always, let me know if you have more questions.